segment, a special edition of the SAU men's basketball coaches show. I'm Daniel Gallegos, joined alongside head men's basketball coach Andy Sharpe. And Coach, we're here today to preview the upcoming men's basketball season. You guys have already sort of gotten a start playing an exhibition game recently against Louisiana Tech. Talk a little bit about that game and what you took out of it.
Well, Louisiana Tech is a very good team. They were an NIT team last year. They beat Florida State at Florida State. I mean, they're very, very talented. They returned, I think, all but one guy from last year's team. So they're very experienced. They've played a lot of games together. They've won a lot of games together. I think they won 27 last year. So taking our guys down there to play them was great in the fact that hopefully we don't play anybody better than Louisiana Tech this year. They're very talented. We got a bunch of new guys, so Monday night was their first time playing together, essentially, and it showed a lot. We kind of got smacked right when we got out of the gate there, and but I think the second half, we were able to kind of work on some things that we really needed to see, and juggle some lineups around and see kind of what works well together, because we're still not really sure what we have, to be honest with you. We feel like our talent level is better, but we're trying to see who works well together and what kind of schemes work well and things like that.
Hey, you mentioned a lot of new faces. You have one returner, and that's in Duke Reed. The rest of the guys are all newcomers, one out of the high school ranks, and so you're bringing in some guys who have college basketball experience. How important has that been with them to have the previous experience to kind of mesh them into your system?
Yeah, well, having previous playing experience on the college level is good in the fact that they're not wide-eyed whenever they tip it up and the game's going 100 miles an hour and the physical play is happening. Sometimes it can be difficult in the fact that if they've developed some poor habits at other places, you essentially have to go back and kind of reteach some things that you maybe you shouldn't have to reteach. But this league is a transfer league, meaning that there aren't a lot of true freshmen that impact games and get a lot of playing time. So we feel like we have to go get junior college transfers, Division I transfers that can step in and play right away and be impact players, and hopefully sprinkle in some high school kids to go along with those guys.
What has been maybe the biggest difficulty so far early on and through practices, and then also on the flip side, what has been something that's surprised you that you're really pleased with?
With a bunch of new guys, it's always difficult trying to teach them what's acceptable, our expectation level, which, in years past, they haven't been very successful here, and that we're here to change that. And so the expectations, our guys must understand that the expectation level must be met, and if it's not met, there are going to be consequences. The accountability must really be there, and one of the surprising things is I feel like we've found a core little group of leadership that I think will hold each other accountable. Alrique Brown and Emmanuel Sanchez come to mind immediately, about guys that I think really get it and they understand what we're after, to go along with Duke, who understands what I'm about. So that's difficult, and it's been a positive at the same time, I think. So hopefully we can continue to build on that positive note and hold each other accountable and demand excellence from each other.
Last season, in your first year here at Southern Arkansas, you guided the team to the Great American Conference tournament with an 8th-place finish. This year, the preseason polls, not very kind at all, picked 11th in the league. Is that something that you guys use on a daily basis to kind of motivate your team, and do you feel that was a fair assessment of your team coming into this year?
Those preseason polls, you cannot put a whole lot of stock into it. I think mainly it's what the coaches see that you have returning. We only have one player returning. We return the fewest number of players in the league. So maybe it was fair in the fact that if you were judging a team based on what they return, yeah, it's probably fair. We need to be 11th out of 11. We don't harp on it every day. Our guys know that they were picked last, and the good thing is that everyone except Duke has nothing to do with last year, so they don't know what it's been like here, in years past. So they're new to what we're trying to do. I'm new. I'm used to winning and competing for championships. So that's one of the main reasons we wanted to try and get some new blood in. And these are all my recruits now. So I guess the pressure's kind of on me at this point to put them in a position. But we really do feel like our talent base is much improved from a year ago, and now blending it together, is a whole nother story in itself.
Your first game's coming up, excuse me, this Saturday. You guys are taking on Crowley's Ridge at home. What are some of your expectations for that first home game?
Hopefully our jitters are out after playing Louisiana Tech. So hopefully we can come out and kind of settle into a groove and establish tempo right away, which our identity must be directly tied into man-to-man defense and being tough and rebounding. We've got to portray those three things all year for us to have a chance to compete. I think if we can add those three things and have those solid, and then our talent can come into play behind that, we feel like we can really make a push this year and get the perception of SAU kind of out of the gutter, so to speak. So Crowley's Ridge, they've played, I think, 2 games already, so they're much more experienced than we are playing together. They returned their whole team from last year, so they're an experienced group, and they're a very good team. They have some size, they have a good shooter, they have some good guards, so by no means is this a gimme game at all. We're going to have to work very hard to establish ourselves from the beginning and start to put away those perceptions that SAU is a cellar dweller.
We appreciate your time here at this season previews. Coaches Special, again, the men's basketball team will kickstart their year this upcoming Saturday at home in the W.T. Watson Center against Crowley's Ridge. It's a 2 p.m. tip-off time, so be sure to come in and catch the men's basketball team in their first action of the year. Coach, appreciate it, and we look forward to the season.
All right, thanks.